You can make the complete XPath. You just have to move your mouse and you'll get the complete XPath. The disadvantage of this XPath is that it cannot be used practically on all the places, because if something changes in the application, you will have to go and change the complete thing. Okay, right? So that's why we use something known as partial XPath. Okay, the code should be made in such a way that there is a minimum impact. The minimum impact means that if something changes in the application tomorrow, your code should not be changed. If you're using a complete XPath, then obviously if something changes in the application tomorrow, if some tag changes in between, then obviously the absolute or complete XPath will require to be changed. But partial XPath is different. The partial XPath always starts with the double slash. Okay, and like if I write double slash star, then what does it mean? It means that all the elements on the page, all the links, all the checkboxes, everything. Okay, if I give a partial XPath like this, that is double slash input, then what does it mean? It means all the input tags on the page. So in this page, if you have any input tags, then that tags will be represented by this XPath. If I write double slash div, then this will be represented like all the divisions on the page. Okay, now over here in Firefox, if you uncheck the option generate absolute XPath, okay, and suppose there is a search box on the top. This is the search box, right? Out here, fine. And if you look at this search box with the help of Firebug, right, then Firefox gives you this kind of XPath. I've unchecked the option generate absolute XPath. It's giving me a partial XPath, which looks like this. That double slash star, this means any element on the page, but after that I have given the ID of the element, that is in the brackets whose ID is this. That means out of all the elements on the page, select the element whose ID is this. If I write like this, it will be more precise. The tag name, okay, that is there is an input tag whose ID is this, right? So this is the partial XPath. It looks way better than this one. Tomorrow if this search box is moved from this location, say it gets moved to this location, still the ID and all, since the ID remains same, obviously the XPath will remain same. Okay, if I look at the XPath of an element like news right now, then I get an XPath like this. Instead of this XPath, I get this XPath. That is, actually this is an li tag with ID blq nav news. Under that there is a link. So it's made an XPath like this. That is double slash. You can put li. There is an li tag with this ID, and under that there is a link. So the XPath in this case starts from this li tag. That is, this is the li tag, and under that this is a link, and the ID of the li tag is this. Fine. So this is how you make your partial XPaths. Okay. Now I can use XPaths to identify elements. For example, if I use this element over here, and if I write over here in the new class, say BBC, and hold on, I'll write the plain old code. Instead of yahoo.com, we'll go to bbc.com. We'll find this link. By the XPath you can write now. You're finding the element with the XPath. Okay, so if you have to type in something inside it, this is the news link, or if you have to click on the link, or you can write news.click. This will work. Okay, so you have got various locators. Xpath is one of them, and it's very powerful as well. Right now, what about other browsers? If I run this code, it will work. If you run this, it will just go open Mozilla, go to BBC, and click on the news link. Now the thing is, what about the other browsers? What about Chrome? In Chrome, I left BBC.com. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out. But it went to BBC, fortunately, and it has clicked on the news link. Right. Okay. Now, what about other browsers? If I open up Chrome, right? On Chrome, if I am suppose on this website, okay, in Chrome you already have a built-in plugin. If you right click, you select inspect element, okay, and suppose this is the element. You right click the element, you will get the option as copy XPath. Okay, you can copy the XPath of the element and use it. The only thing is, in Chrome it will give you double quotes, which you have to convert it into single quotes when you are working with Selenium. Okay, so you can right click on any element. Say I right click on the element wild horses wallpaper, right? And I say inspect element, I get this element. Then I right click on this element over here, copy the XPath, and you get the XPath. Right. Only thing is you have to convert double quotes into single quotes. Okay. Right. But the thing is, if you calculate, 99% of the websites open the same way in all the three browsers. The page source, which I'm talking about right now, it is the same in all the three browsers. Don't think that the page source will be different in all the browsers. Okay, the page source remains the same. That's why if an XPath is working in Mozilla, it will work in Chrome and IE as well. If you have calculated the XPath in one browser, you can make that XPath work in the other one as well. Okay, don't think that in Chrome you'll have to do from starting. So that's why I take out my XPaths on Firefox and use them on Chrome. For example, the same BBC website example, if I run on Chrome driver, right, I'll have to set the system property, system.set property WebDriver.Chrome.driver, and I'll set it to the path of the exe file. Where did I keep it? Hold on. Hold on, let me download the exe file for Chrome driver. Just give me 1 minute. I'll go to seleniumhq.org. On this PC, I don't have it. Go to the downloads link and Chrome. Alright. So this is Chrome driver.exe. And you can simply write over here G drive. Inside G drive you have this file Chrome driver.exe. So now when I run this, the same code will work on Chrome as well. Okay, the same code will work on Chrome because the XPath remains same. The page source remains same, so the XPath will remain same. Right? Now, what about IE? If you have to get the XPath in IE, well, you have got IE developer tool. I have heard that in the latest version of IE there is an option, but I have never seen it. Okay, in IE the max you can do is that you can get the page source. From the page source you can calculate the XPath manually. Okay, the best browser for getting the XPath is Firefox, and you can use that XPath across all the browsers. The problem occurs when your website is not supporting Firefox and Chrome, and your website is only supporting IE. So I have seen projects like that, and in those projects, it's not really tough, but it's a little tough to get the XPath. You'll have to calculate them manually instead of relying on a tool. Okay, I hope you're getting my point. Right? Okay, now right now there's one more thing out here. There is something which I need to discuss. Suppose you are running your script. Okay, I run this script on Firefox. Okay, and the script fails in between. Okay, suppose if I'm running this, and suppose, just taking a hypothetical scenario, it is not able to click on the link. Right? Then in that case, you need to investigate why it is not able to click on the link. You will feel the need that you want. Yeah, Suresh, just hold on. Yeah, I don't have the latest version of IE. I have IE6 with me. That's why I'm not showing it. Okay. So look out here. Yeah, you can try. That's no problem. Yeah. Out here, suppose it fails to click on the link. Right? Or if you want to investigate your browser, if your code fails. Right now the code is working in this particular Mozilla Firefox. Okay, and if the code fails to execute in this Mozilla Firefox browser, you'll have to investigate this browser. Now this browser was opened with Selenium, and you will see that it is not got Firebug installed inside it. It's not got Firebug installed inside it. How do you investigate it then? To investigate the page, you need Firebug. Why is Firebug not installed? Rather, you'll see that this Mozilla will have no bookmarks inside it, the regular bookmarks which were there on your website or on your computer. Right? It's a little different. It's like a fresh Mozilla which is started with Selenium. The regular Mozilla which I have on my PC has got bookmarks as per me. It's got Firebug and it's got all those add-ons which were installed by me. But the Mozilla which was opened by Selenium was like a blank Mozilla Firefox browser with no add-ons. I can't even investigate the page if the script fails. Right? So this is because of a concept known as Firefox Profiling. Do you guys know about the concept Firefox Profiling? Should I tell it to you? Like, do you guys really know about it? No. Okay, so everybody's saying no. So, right, I'll tell you like what is Firefox Profiling. On your machine, you can have multiple instances of Firefox. Suppose you and your friend are sharing a single PC. Right, you and your friend are sharing one PC. When you don't want your friend to see your set of settings, when you open up Firefox, you should see your settings, your add-ons, your bookmarks and all. When your friend opens opens the Firefox on the same machine, he should see his set of settings, his set of bookmarks, his set of plugins and all that stuff in Firefox. Okay, so this can be achieved in Firefox with the help of concept known as Firefox Profiling. To understand Firefox Profiling, the first thing which you need to do is that close Mozilla and don't close it from this crossbar, close it from this location. File, exit. Okay, make sure that you are closing your Mozilla from File, exit menu. Right? Then go to Start, Run and type the command firefox.exe -p profile manager. This is the command, and you'll see a window like this. I'll give this command in chat to everyone. Okay, so this is the default profile which is open on your machine. You can create a new profile. Suppose I create a new profile known as Selenium, and I can start this profile. Now this profile will be like fresh Firefox. Okay, it will not have Firebug and all anything installed in it. It will not have the regular bookmarks. Right, now you as a user can use this profile, and suppose I bookmark the google.com page on this profile. Right, so this Firefox profile will be different than the default one. Okay, now when Selenium starts Firefox, it creates a new profile programmatically, and that profile gets destroyed when the program ends. So it will not open up the profile which is there in your PC. Right, Selenium will create its own profile. Now suppose I want to tell Selenium that go forward and start this profile known as Selenium. In this particular profile, I can have Firebug installed, probably, yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, the main reason is that if the script fails in Mozilla, it becomes very difficult to investigate the page. Right, so suppose in this Selenium profile I install Firebug as well. Suppose I go forward, just 2 minutes. Yeah, so in this profile I have installed Firebug. Okay, so this is the Selenium profile. Now I want to tell Mozilla that open up I want to tell Selenium that go and open up the Selenium profile which is there in my PC. Okay, so for that you can write some code. The code is like this. You have to create the class, the object of a class known as profiles ini. This class practically represents all profiles on your PC. Okay, so you create the object of this class, then write over here all profiles dot get the profile Selenium. From all the profiles, get the profile Selenium. Okay, so this will return you back the object of a class known as Firefox Profile. Okay, so this is the profile which you want to start. Now how do I do that? To explain you further, I need to explain you a concept in Java. I need to explain the concept of constructor. Okay, I'll come back to this code. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll tell you something about constructor and then I'll come back to this code. Okay, suppose I have a class known as car, and the car has a property say string name int price. Fine. And suppose I make a new class known as car driver. Okay, right. Now over here I can write create the object of the car class car c1 equals to new car. Right. I can create as many objects as I want, c1, c2, c3, c4. Okay, but I have to initialize each and every object. I have to write c1 dot name is say car A, c1 dot price is 100, then c2 dot name is B, right? c2 dot price is 200. The problem out here is that I have to create the object and then I have to initiate all the properties of the object. Now luckily this car class had only 2 properties. What if there are 100 properties? Will I initialize the 100 properties line by line for every object? That means out here I'll have to initialize 400 properties because I have got 404 objects. Getting my point? Because examples in real time are not so simple. The car object, if you make in real time, car will have so many features. So that's why we use something known as constructors. Okay, what is a constructor? Constructor is something which because the constructor is called 4 times. Are you able to hear me?
Ashish, we lost you in between for last 2-3 minutes.
Okay, so are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what's the issue? Really don't. This kind of thing never happens. When it never works, it never works. Like when Cisco WebEx is not working, it's not working at all. Like it never gets stuck in between. We don't know. So basically, what I was telling you, constructor. Okay, I'll explain again. A constructor is something which is written like this. Public, the name of the constructor. The name of the constructor has to be same as the name of the class. Okay, and the constructor is called whenever you create the object of the class. Whenever you are creating an object, the constructor will be called. So if I am creating 4 objects of this car class over here, the constructor will be called 4 times. See, when I run this program, inside constructor is printed 4 times. Because whenever I create the object, even if I just write like this, I don't give it a reference, new car, this will also call the constructor. So this constructor is called whenever you are creating the object. So we can make a new constructor over here which takes in 2 variables, string n and int p, and you can call this constructor like this, say car C5 equals to new car, and you can pass the name and the price on the fly inside this constructor. When you are creating the object, okay, you pass over the name of the car and the price of the car inside this constructor. Okay, this is the constructor which will be called, and inside it you can write name equals to n and price equals to p. So you will be dynamically initializing your object. You don't have to initialize it, initialize the properties on separate line. You create the object and you pass over the properties to it. So I can create as many objects I want. Car C6 equals to D400. Are you getting my point? Are you understanding this? Right? So with the help of constructors, you can create the object and you can initialize them as well. So similarly over here, let's come back to that program where I had talked about Firefox profile. Right? I had created the object of the class profiles INI. Right? From that object, I got the profile Selenium, which is this one. Okay. Now I want to initialize the Selenium, so you can pass over this profile object into Firefox driver constructor. There is a constructor in Firefox driver class which takes up the Firefox profile which has to be opened and opens up that particular Firefox profile. So when you run this program, Selenium will not create a new profile of its own now. It will open the profile which is passed over in the constructor of Firefox driver class. When you run this, you will see that the browser which opens up will be the browser of Selenium profile which you had created on your machine. You see that? It's got Firebug as well. It's got the Google bookmark which I had made. In case the script fails on this particular profile, you can open up Firebug and investigate the page and all, whatever you want. Are you getting my point? Right? So I'll stop here for today. Unfortunately, we had a break in between.